Hey guys, I'm here, Cream Crazy, Freddie Thomas, whichever one you want to say. I'm here ready to do the second 15 minutes of fame video. Yes! Now, there's two things I want to quickly say before I start this. You may be wondering I'm wearing a hat. Yeah, you're probably wondering why. Well, as of course people who watch may know that I have baldness around here on top of my head somewhere, and at the moment, note I haven't washed it in about a couple of days. It doesn't look very good, and in bad light such as this, it doesn't. It basically exposes it a lot more than usual. So it's basically for the benefit of my identity, basically benefit of me and my self-consciousness. The hat's on for today. And another thing which has slightly annoyed me a little bit. About a couple of months ago, I bought WWF No Mercy for the N64. Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to play it because my controller for the N64, which I bought from a pawnbroker's for 25 quid, has got a broken down button on the D-pad. Now that, to be honest, doesn't look quite bad to some, but in this game where you have to do specific control methods, I haven't found it easy to control without it. So I haven't got the chance to play this game yet. But I decided this months ago I'd one day do a No Mercy compared to the latest WWE game offering to see if it does do something different and if it is better than if basically what some people say, the old games are better than the new ones, because a lot of them say that this is the best wrestling game ever, and I like to prove critics and other people wrong in some ways and see if they are actually right. So until I get this controller fixed, I can't play this yet. Now I've got that out of the way. We have now come to this point where I have said I am going to look my overview of the fabled, the long documented, and the most one of the most ridiculous things ever come up in wrestling, which has some people say has ruined it, some people say have made it better because of better fan interaction. That is the IWC, and for those who may not know, it's the Internet Wrestling Community. Now, you're thinking probably right now, why the hell am I about to slate it when I am technically a part of it? Well, I would not really consider myself an integral part of the IWC. I don't go onto every wrestling forum and do things. I don't talk to a lot of wrestling fans. I do have a few people who I have talked to on occasion about it. My friends at college aren't interested. So I feel myself as being a lone entity where my ideas aren't really heard of, and I do listen to others, but don't take much interest personally. Now, when it comes to this, people have looked at the internet, especially when it comes to Vince McMahon, and thought, well, the internet are just bragging on about how much they hate this product. Therefore, their ideas don't seem any way useful to me. And but the guys in the internet will always say, "Oh, we can book this better. We can make up better ideas. We can push wrestlers better than Vince McMahon and his silly writing staff can." I personally know I can't do anything about it. That's why on SmackDown vs. Raw games, I computer control matches, commentate them, and set up storylines of my own. And I've done that for the best part of 3.5 years in my own spare time because for a while I had nothing else better to do. And I actually think to myself, some of these guys that the WWE have are wasting them, and some of the ideas that the internet wrestling fans put out there are not actually bad ideas. But I will look at this in this way, that the wrestling fan on the internet, they believe that they've watched wrestling for so many years that they believe they know what's best. Yeah? They know what's best, and they literally spend days and days picking apart bits of the past and saying if WWE can reflect that, or the Attitude Era was better, or looking at matches and how they could have been, or at the moment, checking out the current storylines and saying, how can they make this better? I bet this can be done to make it better. And every time we believe that it could happen, it never does. Which means all of our predictions that we make are useless. Because I watched this is basically connecting with this, that I watched Mark Pearson's Q&A video this month, which I think highlights on the fact of why Vince McMahon hates the internet. The one, we watch streams. We don't pay for the pay-per-views. I do that occasionally because I don't want to pay 15 quid to basically, the best part of it, I don't want to pay the money, but I would be willing to review it for you guys. I'd pay the money to review for you guys anytime. But I would not pay because I've got to stay up and just watch it. I've got college now, and I know I had to record it. But when it comes to a pay-per-view, I will watch it through. I used to watch streams a lot because it gave me a good way of watching on when it was on Sky Box Office. That obviously won't happen anymore. Two, we don't buy the merch. Now, I only buy the merch by going to the WWE shows at the O2. That's the only time I ever buy t-shirts. This CM Punk t-shirt, right here, April 2009 at the O2 was my first WWE show in 2 years. That was when I got this shirt. I buy WWE merch when I can if it's a good reasonable price. But I don't buy the DVDs anymore. Feel I'm okay with buying the Tag Classics because I want to look at the old shows. I'm fine with my WrestleMania X7 DVD in its original condition. Yeah, 35 quid well spent, thank you very much. And to be honest, the other reason, I think this is obvious, we pick apart everything. And that is something I would happily do to keep you guys watching. But when you look at what we do, we look at the WWE and we say, and TNA, and even Ring of Honor at times, and say, okay, we like this, but we much prefer beating the crap out of your product just to suit our needs of being cynical and being critical because we've watched so much. We know when they botch. We know when they blade. We know when things aren't going the way they should, and we can throw it back in your faces. Of course, Vince McMahon doesn't want that. He wants us to sit and enjoy it. And I look at the critical view and say, we can't enjoy anything anymore because the internet has posted spoilers, the internet has posted fan blogs and in YouTube videos like myself, where we just pick apart everything. And I look at that and think sometimes it works. Because with Daniel Bryan, when he got released, we all went completely nuts, rallied up the support, and soon enough, Daniel Bryan got re-signed to WWE. Now, I don't know if that was a work or not. If it was the most spectacular work in history. If it wasn't, it was a surefire sign that the internet and fan support really does work, and the WWE should take notice. But also, when you look at the Dixie Carter scenario with the 3-3-11 that recently happened, if you saw the amount of stick she got for being unoriginal, it kind of sends a message to these companies where we are telling you this sucks. So if you don't do anything to change that, you effectively looking at your fan base and saying, well, we respect that but we're buying the stuff, the tickets, the merchandise, the pay-per-views, everything that we need to stay afloat. However, we are not going to change something that you don't like because we believe we know best. That does not make sense to me. It never has made sense to me. And for the best part, it just never, ever, ever seems to work. Because honestly, if I wanted something changed, I'd gladly rant to the WWE within earful based on where you are going with your stupid little comedic storylines, putting too many promos and stuff when there's no matches on. But obviously I can't, because WWE has found a sneaky little way to go around it, saying, we won't accept any submissions relating to storylines, music, superstar plans, and anything related to that, because they are not interested. We are the guys who pay, so if we end up doing, we expect something good. And that's why the internet complains, because it's a good avenue for debate, it's a good avenue for ranting your ass off, like I do on a regular basis, and it is also a good place for basically anyone to find anything of the past and rant about how good that was compared to now. And that to me shows the internet is not being used in a productive way for wrestling. And that's where I have all these sites now have deleted 24wrestling.com from my things. It doesn't get updated enough. WrestleZone has only got Chairshot Reality and a load of quite epic spoilers. ProWrestling.net, great wrestling site. The Bleacher Report, which I recently signed up to, their wrestling section is in depth. It has slideshow lists, and that's one thing I stay for it. But I look at this now and see the IWC as being something which has soured the entertainment process of wrestling. Because we know what's going on, we won't get excited because we know, basically it's like me predicting, going, okay, please, this guy's going to come out here, interfere here, and cost this guy the title. We're predicting it pinpoint by pinpoint what we believe will happen, and when we don't see that happening, we complain. And that, I know I do it on a regular basis, I know some of you do, but I feel I need to stop doing that because it's making my enjoyment of the product sour. Now, anyone who's a wrestling fan out there right now, look at yourself. Look at yourself right now, and if you're on the internet complaining, look at how much you pinpoint the product. Look at how much you point the finger and blame, and you look at it and you say, this used to be something I enjoyed. I still do enjoy it, but why am I complaining about it more? It never used to go my way when a superstar that I didn't like. When I saw Orlando Jordan as United States champion back in 2005, I wanted him to lose to Benoit so much. And, of course, when he won, I thought, no! What the fuck are you doing? And then I waited until he did, and I went completely nuts. Now I expect, okay, I expect him to lose here because it will benefit this guy, and when they don't, I go mental because it's the wrong thing to do. That isn't the right way to think. And because of this ideal of mine, I am deciding from now until just after WrestleMania, I am going to be on a hiatus from looking at wrestling sites, looking at spoilers, looking at updates. So basically it means if anything happens, a return, an injury, anything that happens in wrestling at all, I will not know about it. I will have to watch Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, and just literally look at them and say, I'm taking them for face value for what it is. I will do that until after WrestleMania. Until, actually, after I go to see Raw and SmackDown in London. That is the pinpoint. So from now, which is the 6th of March, until the 17th of April, I will not look on a wrestling site at all. So guys at Chairshot Reality, I will actually, the only time I will go on is to watch Chairshot Reality Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That is the only thing I will watch to keep myself up to date with the internet in the wrestling community. I will still go on YouTube and do my videos without a shadow of a doubt. I will continue doing that for you guys because you guys, my loyal subscribers, keep me doing this. However, I want to see if it will better my watching experience. Will I get as involved as I was before the Benoit tragedy when I literally watched every single program? Will I start looking at it in a less cynical way and just think, I don't like this, but I might as well sit through it. And if I don't like it, I just mute it like I do with Michael Cole ranting. And I wonder, after looking at all this, has the internet ruined it? Yes, in one sense, that we don't care anymore. We don't care about the product, we only care about what we want from the product. And if it doesn't work, we complain and complain and complain because that's what we think will make it work. The only way we can make things work is to listen to the company, buy into it at least, care for it, because it's not 1999 anymore, it's not 2000 anymore, sure as hell isn't 2003 anymore. Still isn't up to that point. From 2003 to 2007, I was a religious follower of wrestling, and I still technically believe I am in the similar sense. I'm not a gigantic fan, I watch every show there is out there. But I will say this, if we buy in, just enjoy it for what it is, if we enjoy what we want to, fine. But I don't want to just want to see people complaining and complaining and complaining a lot because it's not going their way. I'm realising now that the IWC has one point destroyed the enjoyment factor of wrestling and also shown Vince McMahon that he can't trust his audience. That's why he's gone to a PG audience. That's why he's gone to kids, because they don't complain about it. They don't complain about what they see if it doesn't go their way. And that's for one thing that Vince has actually understood. We are running our mouths off, and he says, well, I don't want anyone running down my neck. I want to have people who just shut up and enjoy. And I am willing to go on a hiatus from wrestling sites to make sure I try and invest myself. Because that's a good thing to do. And if it doesn't work, then that will show that I can't live without it. End of story. Now, obviously, if you're looking at this now and can only see my face, there's some light just to kind of bring everything back to normality from the dark cloud which is now shrouded around my head and my personnel. I am actually quite happy that I've just ranted that out because I'm willing to do this, and I hope a lot of you will as well, because if WrestleMania this year is probably going to be the most hated event ever if it doesn't go the way that people think it will. So get your seatbelts buckled up. It's going to be a very, very long ride. Thank you all for watching. I will post another video next week. I am not too sure what I'm going to include in it. I'll wait till then. But I will see you guys next week. Enjoy your week ahead and have a good time. See ya, and thank you.